My family, my dad's side and everything, my grandparents, we were a tombstone and a casket type of family. My mom's side were mostly, my grandmother's behind me. She was crematized or whatever, and she's in an urn. But when it came to the one side of my family, especially my grandfather, I think my father will be potentially. I don't know about my father, but anyway, I want casket and the tombstone. And like I said, like in Ontario somewhere, I could take you there. My grandfather and my grandmother had their tombstone, and so did many of the Slotes and many of the Langs. They were a tombstone and a casket type of one. Not too big of a not too big of a tombstone or anything, and not too fancy of a casket, but a nice casket, nice caskets. Well, not no pine boxes. They were like some decent brand name caskets. Uh, I've been to several funerals with the brand name casket, and not just for display either. The casket went in the ground with them. Some people get displayed in the casket, and then some folks actually have a land where they're buried with their casket, their expensive casket or what have you. That's who my grandparents were. But I'm no XXXTentacion. And my dad still remains alive, and so do I. Um, But who knows? I am much like an XXX in a certain way, I guess, if you look at my family or whatever and how they go or whatever, where potentially, yeah, they might end up crematized, but I might not. I think I'll end up with a tombstone and a casket, right? But Tentacion, he went even beyond that. He's got what I would call a tomb, or the same thing Jesus had in the Bible. Jesus, when he was buried, Jesus buried for a minute before we go to his grave. Jesus was buried, and they put him in like a tomb thing in the what was it called? It had a specific name where they buried Jesus at. And then he was resurrected, and they went to the tomb, and they went in, and he wasn't there to be found. And we're getting close to Easter soon in the next following month. So by the time you may see this, it might be Easter time. And heck, every year it's Easter time, and it's to commemorate. Well, you'll learn, but one of the things is the resurrection of Jesus Christ after the third day of his death or whatever, when they had buried him in the tomb. Okay, there's another word for tomb that they had used, which I wanted to get, the holy shroud of Jesus Christ. Uh, but XXXTentacion's burial was, well, some would say even more grand than even Jesus, but it was in a tomb too, sort of thing. Cleopatra did a nice job. Oh, that's not what I wanted to pick up. Gravesite. I never seen that. But you can see here memorial and burial. Look at his mausoleum. Mausoleum. See the black flowers and the red flowers. XXXTentacion. He could have died and put this up as a big ploy. He's finished with XXXTentacion. Did you really get killed? I don't know. I don't even want to look at the graphic photos. They could be fake photos, and this is their thing. He was finished with the XXXTentacion, and now he's doing where he's resurrected, but he's somewhere else, and you can't find him. Like Jesus, people would always, well, there was accounts in the Bible where people said that they had seen Jesus around after his confirmed death, and his, he was missing from his the he was missing and whatnot, right? But they would say that there was people that would swear they seen Jesus. And Jesus was said to be, well, he would appear and he was said to be seen all around. What does that mean to me today? Well, quite possibly he would have been one of our human accounts in which God, he gave powers to this one son because of his such loyalness to him while he was alive, powers to teach the fellow man or whatever. And I've even seen Jesus pop up. When I got stabbed, Jesus was there in the corner to me. But Jesus isn't the most. Don't fall in love with Jesus. No, Jesus is also a man to where he would laugh at you. But I always loved Jesus unforgivingly. But I know Jesus has giggled behind my back at me, but he has been loving unforgivingly. But he was there as I laid there, and I don't know how he would help me if I was dying. I don't know if he gave me life. I think he did. It felt like he did. It felt like he had strengthened my heart when I seen him, when he popped up. I had expected to see Jesus, and there he was. I had gotten hurt so badly. I was like, wow, is it really that bad? And it felt like yeah, and it was. And there was Jesus. Yeah, because I almost lost my life. It's that easy to lose your life. Get stabbed and whatever, bleed out, and you lose your life. And that's when I seen Jesus.